element. Supreme tide of perfectionist. Crash on your Vegas nerve. Buffet, I'm about to serve. Fresh out of canapes, I want the hors d'oeuvres with a hunger indescribable to put in that scheme. The host with the most. OT from the D. Creator of this newly booted theory. DJ 7, young got discretion. Cool, go hard in the paint like resin. Ray Sun checking with the scoop for your teacup. How do we know that? I swear he knows some higher ups. DJ Slim is the linchpin to the crew. Locked in, turned up like an Allen screw. Together we the squad. Salute our supporters like Captain Picard. Congratulations in advance, confetti. Toothpick came clean, we fresh out and ready. Fifth Element.
Yo, what up, though? It's another day with the Fifth Element. Y'all know what it is, man. We about hip-hop in its truest form. That's peace, love, unity, and having fun. And y'all know we always got some special guests in the building. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, my guy, Ramon, a.k.a. Ray Sun. What up, though?
What it do, man? You know what it is. Another week, no smut on our names.
Last time that I checked.
Right. We ready, man. We ready.
You know what I'm saying? And sitting over here in the other chair, you know what I'm saying? Getting his smooth co-host on right now is my guy, incredible DJ Slim.
Peace, y'all. What's good?
Yeah. And in the back, y'all know, without further ado, this guy right here, you know what I mean? 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just had a birthday.
Oh,
go ahead and give it up for Hollywood Bug. What up, now?
What's up, y'all? We back again.
You know what I mean? We back again. And speaking of his birthday, you know what? You know how we do on the Fifth Element, man. Right. Anytime one of our members, have a birthday year, we like to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? We like to do something special for them.
Right.
And we like to go up for them. So
but wait. Before we do that, though, we got to let them know that Kai is coming to the show.
Kai is coming to the show.
Queen is coming.
Right. Yeah, she's coming to the show. You know what I mean?
She's in the powder room right now.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we gonna go ahead and go ahead and go up for the young man right now. Yo, Hollywood, why don't you step over here for a second, man? You know what I mean? So we can catch it. Come right here. Go sit right there, Hollywood. Sit right there. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know what I mean? We got a little something special for Hollywood Bug. Y'all see that right there? We come bearing gifts.
Shake it.
You know what I'm saying? Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Yo, Bug, that's for you, man.
Hollywood Bug in the building. Happy born day, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you're talking to the mic when you're up there.
What you got there, man? What you
Drum
got
roll,
there?
please.
Oh,
he got some merch.
boom!
He got some merch.
And I'm the newest member of the Rockefeller team.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that.
Hollywood
Oh,
Bug with the
Hollywood
dark gray
Bug.
dog. With the dark gray tone on him.
With the dark
you
gray
heard?
tone on him. You feel me?
Okay.
Hollywood.
It's that teenager-ish.
You know what I'm saying?
man.
Hollywood Bug in the place to be, man. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, young man.
Word.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
You know,
What we
you know
doing this weekend? We turning up?
What we drinking? What we drinking this weekend? What we drinking this weekend?
Talking to the mic,
We
man.
drinking? Some apple juice?
There it is.
This
There
is
we
some apple
go.
juice.
There we go. Very
That'll be
good
some apple
choice.
juice. That'll be some
Very
apple
good
juice.
choice. Very good choice.
Man.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Raymo, man. I'm like, what we got in the news, man? I'm like, we done celebrated with Bug. You gonna join in with the news or whatever? Get your comment on. You know what I mean? You of age now. Now you can sit at the table.
Right. Hey, I went to a music festival over last weekend.
Right.
The Sloop World Music Festival.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
a good.
The artist, so the Queen of Vegas, Misfit, came through, did her thing.
Right.
Shout out to Misfit, man.
She did her
Misfit.
thing.
Yeah.
Butter James did her thing. Matter of
Butter
fact, all the
James.
artists that came through that I did see from, I stayed from like 8 to like 2 in the morning.
Okay.
8 to 2?
That shit was empty as hell.
6 hours joint.
That shit was empty as
6-hour
hell,
joint
man.
right there.
6-hour joint.
Yeah.
I tried to be a team player, yeah. I mean, and shout out to Dan Tanner because he told me he told me to come through with him. So
Right.
Word.
Shout out Dan Tanner. You know what I mean? And I got to go to the cookout.
okay,
So, I was over at the cookout, and the cookout
I
was-
should have came with you.
Yeah, man, the cookout was crazy. Shout out to Gas Station Studios, man. I'm like, the MCs was killing.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, the Trady Nate situation.
Okay.
With Boney the Savage. Man, I'm like, hey, it got a little heated. Bonet walked out in the middle of the set.
Damn.
So yeah.
walked out?
Yeah, man. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? So,
Why? Why'd he leave though?
Oh shit.
Was it the bars?
Was the bars too hard, or
Was
like,
the bars made him leave?
I think it was the bars, man. I'm like, yo, he's. I'm like, but Bonet's bars wasn't whack though. That's what's crazy about it. Bonet's bars was not whack. He was coming with it, but I'm like, he got too emotional, man, and he just left. And I was like, damn, man. I was like, yo, in battle rap, I'm like, you know, they coming for your head. You can't allow it to get to you. You gotta keep your composure, because every time Bonet came back, he was killing shit.
Right.
And you know, Trady was, you know what I mean? He had responses for him. So you gotta understand, like,
Trady
yo.
was ready.
Right.
He was ready.
So I'm like, yo, if you bring a sword, you know a sword coming back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, straight up. So, you know,
Who else was there though? Who else was there?
Oh man, the Kamikaze and Dre Del Rey battle.
Okay, that's
Epic.
the name I was waiting to hear.
Epic.
Kamikaze. Shout out to Cam, man.
Epic battle. Kamikaze and Dre Del Rey, epic battle. I'm like, it was just one of the best. I'm like, y'all can catch that. I think it's Sound Up LV.
Yeah.
You know, and you can catch all of that on YouTube and all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. I'm like, yo, you can catch it, and they're gonna be dropping it pretty soon. I'm sure it's gonna be crazy. Views gonna go out of the roof.
Shout out to Gas, man. Keeping it going.
Yeah, man.
With
Yeah,
the
man.
cookout.
Gas is doing his thing. What else you got, Raymond?
Somebody got to go let Kai in.
Yeah, I just seen I just seen that.
Boy,
Hey,
can you let Kai in?
Hollywood, you can go let Kai
I
in.
was trying to parlay for a second, but I'm looking at the text.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
BET Awards.
BET Awards.
Did y'all catch them?
Nah, I ain't catch the BET Awards, man. But I seen the replay on YouTube. You know,
Right.
what I mean? I seen the replay, and it was pretty good. I liked all the artists they brought out and performed and everything. It was really good.
They did it well. You didn't like all the artists. Did you like Meek Mill's baby mama?
Boy, Meek Mill's baby mama and Lil Wayne's daughter,
Ray Janae.
Janae. Man, just because your daddy rap or your boyfriend rap, you know, don't mean you can rap. I'm like, yo, it's a lot more skill in it than just saying the words.
Right.
And that's what I mean.
Definitely.
And I'm like, yo, they were saying the words,
Right.
but that don't mean that it was dope. I'm like, yo, the words might even been dope, but I
Right.
couldn't get past the way that they was being delivered.
The tonality, the delivery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot more to rapping than just rapping. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
they got up there, and it was, I'd have to say it was kind of sus.
Right. Ray Janae, hers was decent because Lil Wayne wrote the verse,
Yeah.
and she put a little performance into hers a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She shimmied
Man.
and shaked and all
Let's
of
feel
that.
like this, man. I'm listening to the bars, and I'm like, boy, she need work. Both of them needed work. She needed less work than Meek Mill's baby mama, but she still needed work.
But like, it's a lot of artists out there that could have had that time slot, yo.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Show their
And-
talents.
And
you know
that's
what I'm
kind
saying?
of it kind of took away from people who actually
Like,
deserve
they up
that
there
spot.
just playing around, you know, for the laugh, which is entertaining, but it's like, come on, man.
But we got cats out there like LaRussell who
Man,
ain't
where
getting his
was
shine.
LaRussell? Where
I'm like, yo,
was
that dude
LaRussell?
should be getting
Where
his
was
shine on that.
Oh, hi y'all. I'm
Hey,
here.
Peace,
welcome,
peace,
welcome.
peace,
Look who
peace.
finally decided to show up.
Right.
Looking
We had some
at
kind words for you.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, but LaRussell should have definitely been
That's what I'm
celebrated.
saying.
You
at
know
this
who else
BET
should have been
Awards.
celebrated at the BET Awards that was conspicuously absent?
Who was that?
Coast Contra.
Yeah,
Coast
yeah,
Contra.
yeah, they've been
Definitely.
killing
Coast
it.
And I can think of one more
Literally
name,
no
but I think we're going to get into that later,
Coast
I think.
Contra.
Okay.
The
The loud joint, right?
Yeah, let me give you real quick some of the winners. Kendrick Lamar dominated the
Yeah, he
awards
did.
with
He
6
swept it up
wins.
with
Come on, man.
including
Come on, man.
Artist of the Year and Album of the Year.
Come on, man.
Well
K-Dot
deserved.
also won Lyricist of the Year.
Okay.
This was his 8th win for Lyricist of the Year.
Come on, man.
Far more than anyone else in the history of the show.
Come on, man.
Which originated in 2006.
Right.
It was
Word
his
up.
3rd win for Hip Hop Album of the Year, which ties him with T.I. and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Word.
Drake won 3 awards. Lotto's
Okay.
Big Energy won Song of the Year. Glorilla won Best Breakthrough Artist.
Controversial choice. No disrespect to Lotto, but
You got something else?
I mean,
I think JID should have got a few Kendrick.
Okay, okay.
I think JID should have got a few Kendricks.
Okay.
Something. Anything.
JID's album was fire.
I think they might be giving Kendrick a little honorable mention. I don't know if it was all that. You know what I'm saying? But
I would have to agree. I'm like, yo, it wasn't my favorite of Kendrick's albums.
I could have threw some Vegas MCs up there.
Deadass.
You know what I mean?
Facts, you know what I mean? We could have threw an East God up in there.
Yeah.
All the way. And they would have fit right in.
Straight up.
All right, so
Nothing
I said
lacking.
Glorilla got one best breakthrough artist. Her name is Gloria Woods too. If y'all want to know why, Glorilla.
Yeah. I
For
read
sure.
up on her a little bit.
DJ Drama won DJ of the Year.
Okay.
Best hip hop platform went to Fifth Element. Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
right. That's what it should have been.
That's right.
Should've been.
Right. We're gonna see what happened on the
down.
Vegas Hip Hop Awards. But
That part.
best hip hop platform went to Drink Champs and Carisha Please.
Come on, man.
Carisha, please.
Come
I was
on,
like, man,
yo.
what was that about?
Don't she got like 5 episodes?
Like 5 episodes.
Have y'all watched any of those episodes? Because they are dope
I have
as
not.
hell.
They cool.
That's
I'm
dope, but
sleep. I
5
gotta
episodes.
get on track with the Carisha.
Nah, they
It's
cool
Five
episodes.
award
I'm
winning.
not
It
saying-
must be doing something.
I'm not saying that
Worth
she
watching.
wouldn't eventually deserve it,
Right.
but you only got 5 episodes.
5
How you get the
episodes.
whole year
Diddy pay for that.
already?
Quality.
Had
how
to.
you get
Quality
the whole
over
year?
quantity, maybe?
The whole
Yeah.
year.
It's
I'm
definitely-
like,
it's definitely quality.
you done had Talib and
Yeah.
and Dave Chappelle doing they joint over
People's
at
Champ.
Luminary.
Right.
You had
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs. You had who else?
$1 million worth of
$1 million
game.
worth of game.
Come on, man.
I'm like, dude, it's so many credible podcasts that's been really putting it down for the year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you give somebody with 5 episodes.
Is 85 South Show considered a podcast?
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah,
Come on, man. You
85
gotta
South.
get out of here.
That's what I
man.
mean. Not knocking her
Not
for the
knocking
win
her at all, no,
But I'm
but-
like, bro, I'm like, at least give it to somebody who done put in the work.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm like, yo, she just got a little bit more work to do. It ain't nothing to it.
Right.
All right,
A little
so
bit.
matter of fact, hey, if y'all in the live chat on YouTube, talk to us, man. We talk back.
Yes, sir.
All right, Hustler of the Year went to 50 Cent, and Producer of the Year went to Hitmaker.
Nice.
So I got a clip of the Loud Records 30-year anniversary.
All right.
So we're gonna check
It
that
was
out.
pretty lit.
Loud
Pretty
record.
lit,
They
man.
do their thing, man. Definitely one
You
of my
can, you
favorite.
can let it
hip-hop
run
groups.
too, Quan. However you get to that, but yeah, that was the start of the Loud.
That was the start of it.
Word.
Okay,
Loud
I
Records,
don't know
y'all.
about
Loud
the tour,
Records.
That's fine.
So that was dope. But
Not
the only thing
everybody
it
know
was
everything
missing
about everything.
was the West
Definitely
Coast.
missing the West
Yeah,
Coast.
the West
man.
Coast. It was
Where
nowhere.
the hell was Tash?
Right, the
And the
Alcoholics,
alcoholics,
right.
man.
Right. I'm like, man, they definitely should have been up there.
Conspicuously absent. Conspicuously
Right.
Come on,
absent.
man. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta do better than that. You can't leave out the alcoholics from the Loud family, man.
I'm like, they did tours with Wu-Tang. They both
Can't do it.
came up together. We
Can't
had
do
Tash
it.
on the show talking about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's
Yes.
what's ill about it. I'm like,
Right.
man, yo,
Can't
that's a
do
lot
it,
of history
man.
in that.
Speaking of Tash, what we doing tonight, Slim?
We going up tonight, man. I think it's the after NFT party with Tash, E Swift, Big Scoon.
Yes,
Fifth
sir.
Element to be in the building.
In the
DJ
building.
Slim.
Yeah, I might spend a little bit.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna have fun tonight, man. And it's first Friday though.
And
so.
it's first
Right.
So
Friday.
it's downtown. And I
Downtown.
believe it's what
It's on-
Crypto Club?
No, it's the
The
backyard,
backstage bar and
Backstage.
billiards.
Backstage
Also,
bar
it's at Triple
billiards.
B's.
Yeah.
Fremont and 6th Street.
Fremont
sir.
6th Street,
If you're
y'all.
in Vegas, pull up.
Come down to Triple B's,
Real
man.
hip
Y'all know
hop,
what it is.
reggae. You know what I mean?
We'll be in the building.
Yeah.
Straight up,
If
straight
you're
up,
into
straight
that.
up.
All right, hey, so moving on, y'all boy Kanye. Kanye
Kanye.
news.
Like-
I don't want to offend y'all because I know y'all will be all on Kanye's
Kanye.
Ain't
Miz.
nobody on Kanye's
Relax.
nuts. I
I
just don't
I
feel
thought I
like
had
I'm
a
like,
fight walking out of here last time.
Relax.
I'm like, man, don't try to spread your hate on me. I'm like, you hate him.
So on Monday, October 3rd, Kanye pulled up to a surprise Paris Fashion Week show wearing a long sleeve shirt with White Lives Matter on it.
Right.
Dope.
You already know it lightweight caused a little stir in the hip hop community. We got so Ebro called Ye a moron, a scammer, and he said it's just another scam to sell some whack ass clothes.
And you know, I'm at the point to where like, why does any of this stuff even get any attention anymore? Kanye always doing some shit. I'll just be like, yeah, that's Kanye being Kanye, and just keep it pushing. I don't even think about it no more, to be honest with you.
I really just need somebody to like take away his phone and make him take his meds. Like that's all I need somebody to do. Like I need one solid person in Kanye's life to hold Kanye down.
His bops are
When
still
he-
around.
Well,
Hey, man.
somebody, anybody. Kanye is mentally ill. Okay, he is bipolar.
Like you
And
really believe that?
everybody's-
You really believe that?
Yeah, I don't
Signs
believe
are
it.
there. You don't believe it?
I believe it firmly.
I believe that
he
Kanye
is bipolar.
understands how to keep his name alive.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That's all I believe. I believe that.
Do it with the music, not with the antics.
I'm telling you right now, but the antics is what keeps
yeah,
his name
that's what
going.
keeps his- yeah,
I'm like,
man.
dude, I'm like, think of Donald Trump. Do you think Donald Trump's mentally ill and bipolar? But he know how to keep his name alive because he keeps saying all the crazy shit that he was saying when he was in president and everything.
No,
It's
he's
the
just a
same
psychopath.
tactics.
It's a difference.
It's the same tactics though.
It's different.
Same
Mental
tactics
illness.
is the tactics.
It's two
You
different
know what I mean?
mental illnesses.
Whatever, but they got the same
I think
characteristics.
Kanye goes the extra mile
Straight
though.
up.
Yeah, hell yeah,
And
definitely.
I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty cognizant of what he's doing.
I think Kanye is
You know what I'm
very.
saying? I think he
cognizant of
knows
what he's
exactly
doing.
what he's doing.
He
when
ain't
does
walking
it.
around like no dummy. You don't make $6 billion being a dummy. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it 100.
Quan, can you roll that clip of
Energy, yo.
Hey, dude, I, that's why I'll
He
be like,
does
yo,
things specifically
We got
to
one more.
piss people off.
right. That's
That's
what I'm
just who
saying.
he is as a person.
But I'm like, if
thing I
you're
do
doing
have
this
to address
This what
specifically,
Diddy-
is
this what
White
Diddy
Lives
said.
Matter T-shirt. I've always been there, and I will always support my brother Kanye as a free thinker. But the White Lives Matter T-shirt, I don't rock with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with it. And with the press and what fashion is doing, thinking it's a joke. But right now, all America has planned for us is poverty, incarceration, and death. So before I could get to any other lives matter, which all lives matter, you know what I'm saying? That Black Lives Matter, don't play with it. If you don't wear the shirt, don't buy the shirt, don't play with the shirt.
Did he?
Don't play with the shirt.
like I
Diddy
said,
said.
man, I'm like, yo, Kanye know what he be doing, man.
He definitely.
I'm like,
does.
he goes against the grain to make sure that y'all keep talking about him.
keep talking about it.
That's
yeah.
it. I'm like, Kanye dropped the album, last year? Before that, he ain't dropped an album, 6 years? I'm like, yo, it's just like, yo, he keeps his name in the mouth, but that don't mean Kanye was absent when that album wouldn't drop.
He ain't dropped the album, but he did drop. He did produce on plenty of albums, Nas album, Pusha
Right.
T,
Right.
and so on and so
But I'm
forth.
saying, but like him being in the forefront and being spoken about is all because of these antics. While he was doing all that, he was running for president. He was doing all this other crazy stuff. I'm like, man, Kanye is
Sunday
always
school.
exactly
Right.
Sunday school. He's always doing something. So I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, this is orchestrated. This is no different than the Kardashians doing something, and you like, oh man, he in the news again. No different. He just that guy.
So if we know that, and we know that he's just doing it for the attention,
We the ones talking about it.
why bother?
And you're like, straight up,
You
we the
know.
ones talking about it. But I'm like, yo, it's hip hop news, so we gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, is Draymond Green punching Poole in the mouth? Is that hip hop news?
Hey man,
Did y'all see
it's-
that?
I don't know if it's
No,
hip hop
what?
news, but it's definitely news. Boy, he Superman punched
Yeah,
that
he
dude.
did.
I was like,
Boy, it's fast as hell.
What?
It's just, look, I just threw it in there, man.
Hey man,
Yeah, I missed
I'm
out on
talking
that
about
completely.
he took off on homie so bad.
Draymond Green from the Warriors and his teammate, they had I guess it was practice. I think it was practice, right?
Right.
Wait.
Cold.
He knocked him out, huh?
I'm gonna say like this, man. You
That
know,
was pretty fast.
a lot.
That was pretty
He got that reach. How tall is he? How tall
That was
is he?
pretty fast.
I don't know. Draymond probably about 6'8".
Yo, you gotta
That's what I'm
really-
saying. He got
that's
them
some
long
slow
ass
motion
arms,
shit
so
right
he
there.
really had to.
we need to get Draymond
Do
in
too
the
much.
ring with Jake Paul.
Boy,
So Jake Paul is about to fight Anderson Silva,
Boy,
right?
yeah.
What you
Good
think gonna
luck.
happen?
If they boxing, I don't know.
Wait,
man.
what you say, Quan?
If Anderson doesn't win, it's set up
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
because he could really fight. He could box.
Yeah, so
All the
yeah.
way.
So if he
He's
doesn't
a
win,
real
it's set
fighter.
okay.
I would like
Okay.
to see him. I would like to see Jake Paul going in the ring with Michael J. White.
Oh no! Come on, now. Come on, man! You went all the way off the Richter scale.
Hey, look, no, but Michael J. Man, hey, Michael J. got skills.
No,
You know, like-
he talks like he got skills.
He do.
No, you got
Y'all only
skills.
seen him in the movies.
He's actually studied
Eddie Murphy
martial
whoops
arts.
ass in the movies.
He really studies martial arts though.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
does,
you gotta
like,
do
videos
your,
on
do your
YouTube.
homework on him,
He
man.
get
I'm like,
punched in
dude,
the
nice.
He's
He like
really
that.
like that.
I don't think none of y'all did y'all homework on Michael J. White.
I
And
did
watch some
my
Michael
homework.
J. White.
Hey,
I
look.
definitely have.
Hey,
Michael
look
J.
at me.
White.
I
Look at me,
studied the
Ray.
NBA. I'm not
Look
playing for the Lakers.
I did my
Right.
homework on Michael J. Right.
Everybody
I
got
sure
a
did.
plan until you get. Boop.
Punched in the
Exactly.
face.
So you get boo-bopped, right?
All right, so man, that's basically what I got for right now.
Word.
And I'm like, man. I'm like, yo, we ain't gonna go into that other thing.
What was the other thing? Talk to me.
That thing we was talking about on there.
Okay. Fat Joe was on the Breakfast Club,
Right.
and Charlemagne brought a question up to him. He said, every couple years you hear Fat Joe catching a little flack for saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or the N-word, whatever we going with today, but for saying nigga. And Fat Joe basically said, I was born in these projects. You know what I mean? My mom was in these projects 40 years before I was born. Nigga is just part of the conversation, part of the lexicon, right?
Right.
And he said when he was born with blue eyes and blonde hair, and they was like, look at little Joey, look at the little nigga. You look at the little nigga. So nigga's been a part of his life.
Right.
Do any of y'all see it wrong for Fat Joe? He's not black, he's Puerto Rican, for him to say nigga, or do y'all feel the N-word, nigga word can only be used by black people, or should it be used at all?
We started this discussion in our DM chat, and it got me to thinking about whether or not that word should be used at all, or at least as frequently as we just tend to use it. We just use it very carelessly. I personally don't use the word in mixed company, but that also happens. It's just like reckless here and there. And when you really think about the word and how much pain and rage and blood is attached to it, it kind of makes you think about it a little bit differently than just the term of endearment, clause that we give ourselves to use it. So what I decided to do was a little experiment. Okay. I decided to see if I could go without saying the word for 24 hours. And
how long did you last, Queen?
let me tell you. I was surprised at myself.
Okay.
At how, because when I first took it on,
right.
I'm like, this say less. Like, this is nothing.
Right.
I didn't last an hour.
See what I'm saying?
Before I said it.
Like,
now,
nigga, please.
granted, like I was in a cipher and I was freestyling, but still, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even make it 2 hours, let alone 24 hours. And that put it into my mind. Like, if I'm using that word unconsciously to that degree, is it really something that I need to be doing?
Well, I always seen it like this. I'm like, if you remove that word, to me has just as much, I want to say, weight in my vocabulary as any other cuss word. You know what I mean? I'm like, if I remove mother effer or shit or damn or whatever from our vocabulary, it'll be just the same. And, it's situational. I'm sure like none of us are at our jobs just letting, the N-word fly.
Dropping the
N-bombs. You're not in front of, so I'm like, to me, I feel like everybody has a conscious mind on when to use it, and it's more of comfortability.
Not everybody though.
Not everybody.
Well, I would say most people. Most people who have some sense don't be just going into work and be like, "Yo, see they boss. What up, my nigga?" They ain't doing that.
No, I mean that use it in the proper setting, in the proper situation. But let me ask all of y'all this. Do you think you could go 24 hours without saying it?
Absolutely not, and I ain't even gonna try.
I probably can.
I think I could.
I ain't gonna try.
I think I could.
I'm like, yo.
You think you could?
I think I could.
When the clock started right now, 6:35.
We can start it right now.
Look, man.
24 hours.
Y'all got it, cause I ain't
I'm
about
on
to.
it. I'm with it.
I ain't thinking about no speech unless
and
y'all put some money on it.
Nigga by Q-Tip, right? he made the perfect song to talk about the way that we use the word.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he says it in the song. I try to flint. I started not to say it, but my lips is like ooh, like you can't. It's like a part. Yep. It's a part of our language now, but I really am questioning whether or not it should be.
Y'all want to put some money on it? Who can not say it for 24 hours?
I mean, we ain't gonna be together for
20
years.
I'm about to say,
I gotta use the honor system.
Okay,
gonna be
see you
lying
niggas till next week.
Okay,
we
so
need to use the honor system.
what about?
I'm
Okay,
gonna believe you.
let's do this.
Be like, nah,
for the
I
next,
said-
all right, for the next 2 hours.
No, for the rest of the night.
For the rest of the night. For the rest of the night.
We'll be together
So for the rest of the night, we don't say it at all. $5. Everybody $5 on that. That way it don't get crazy.
All right.
All right, we got $5 on it. All right, I ain't gonna say it
For the
five-
fifth. For the fifth.
For the
That's
fifth,
right.
$5.
Holding
We
each
ain't
other
gonna say it.
accountable.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey,
I
y'all,
ain't
let's
gonna
get
say
into
it.
this interview though.
Yeah,
You know what
let's
I
go.
mean? You know what I'm
Word
saying?
up, word up.
I'm like, yo, right now, I got the pleasure to introduce this man right here. I'm like, man, it's been crazy. A couple of weeks. Last week we had Great God up here, and he introduced me to his guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, I ain't gonna say I knew a lot about him, but I had been hearing his name ring from a man Schoon. So I started, you know, doing my homework and doing some studying. This dude is heavily invested in the game. I'm talking about hip hop. I'm talking about like some of the best he done work with. Jada Kiss, you know what I mean? Benny the Butcher, you know what I mean? Among others, Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? He done work with Raekwon, some of the killers out there.
You said Jada Kiss.
I said Jada, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, he done work with some of the best out there. And I'm like, and you can see from his bars why they work with him. I'm like, this dude is for real, for real. So without further ado, you know what I mean? He new to the Las Vegas area, but you know what I mean? We welcome him out here, and now he's Fifth Element fam. Let's go ahead and give it up for my guy, the one and only Joey Majors.
Peace.
What up, dog?
I appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, man, come on, man. You already know.
Yeah,
You
talking
already
that mic, Joey. Stay on the mic for
No
us.
doubt.
There you go.
Straight up. Look, he came up here dripping and shit. I
Right.
saw killing him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you.
That's every day, though.
I know, right?
Got the table wet with the jewelry.
You know,
He said
it's no cap. This is really what I do every day.
Right.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
when we seen him last time, he was like that last week. You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
like, yo, I was like, come, you come up in here, drip.
No doubt.
Then you want to tuck my shit in.
I'm not.
Right, yeah. Debo, we got Debo and our chains up in here.
I'm gonna just tuck
Before
mine
we
in.
get started, we're gonna run this. We're gonna run this clip to bring Joey in, right? Show y'all what he do.
Word up.
Yeah. Joey. Great God. What you coming, nigga?
This is legendary right here. I grew up in the place where you run from the cops. If it's sweet and you was getting sunned on the block. Now I'm out in Vegas where the sun is too hot. Vito hit me with the 30-round drum for the Glock. My hustle game strong, the flow game meaner. Been hot since I was floating in that cocaine beamer. Graduated to that Maserati 4-seater. The streets don't love you and the hoes don't either. Respect gets earned.
Oh
Joey
my goodness.
Majors.
I'm like, Joey Majors up in here,
Yeah.
man. Y'all see the greats in the video. Y'all see Great God, and y'all seen Benny the Butcher up in there.
Right.
Stove God was in that one too, right? Was that
Stove God.
Stovey was in there.
Oh
Sure.
my
Stove
goodness.
God, yeah, man.
I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, all of them killers on the microphone. Killers.
Yeah.
So,
Nah,
Joey, man, what brought you out to Vegas, man?
What brought me out to Vegas?
Yeah, brought you out to Vegas, man. Oh my God.
Where you from, dog?
I'm from the D.
Okay. What's not to love about Las Vegas?
Right.
That's my question. You
Hey,
know what I
look,
mean?
man, I came out here in high school, so my mom
Right.
forced me to come. I was at that age where I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
So she said, you coming.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
as you get older, as I got older, I would have probably been like, yo, let's go to Vegas. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been a thing. And I'm like, now I go back to Detroit, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, nah. For me, you know, because I'm born and raised in Western New York.
Right.
Then I lived in Jersey for a while, Maryland for a while. I just got tired of the weather, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I like spun the wheel. Miami, LA, Las Vegas, and it landed on Las Vegas. So here I am. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I ain't mad at it, man, because
No doubt.
we happy to have you here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate
For
it.
real.
I appreciate y'all.
How long have you been out here?
This is year 4.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've been working on, I see you've been working since you've been out here.
Of
you know what I'm
course,
saying?
of course.
I'm like, yo, what kind of projects you got coming up?
I mean, right now on every DSP you got Wolf Season.
Wolf season is
You know
out.
what I mean?
We're gonna get into that
that's
in just a second.
Yeah. That's the joint with me and Great God.
Right, right,
We got Benny on there. We got a
Right.
joint with Jada Kiss.
right.
Stove God. You know what I'm
Stove God.
saying? Ito. I mean, it's a joint. You know what I mean? We brought everybody to come out to play with us on that one. You feel me?
And y'all recording those joints out here, or is it like kind of like a send the verses over the email?
So y'all familiar with the Hideout Studio?
Definitely.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So
It's our second home.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, and shout out to Zoe. I love Zoe. You know what I mean? I started when I first came out here. I started off at Studio at the Palms.
Right, right.
But during the pandemic, you know, things kind of got strange. So then, you know what I mean, she moved over to Hideout Studio, and I followed her over there, and that's my home. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's
yeah.
where I work.
Hideout is nice, man.
Oh, yeah.
We be
Oh,
over
yeah.
there with Father MC all the time. He was in the
No doubt.
hideout like crazy.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm like,
I be seeing a lot of cats when I'm coming in and they come. I mean, I done ran into Corrupt. I ran into Daz. You know what I'm saying? Like, you name. I ran into LB Shore coming out of there. You feel me?
That's that little Wayne over there.
Yeah,
With the hair all wavy.
Hey, let me ask you a serious question.
Sure.
Pop Smoke just passed away, and they said he was basically got robbed for his jewelry. You move around with your jewelry on daily. How do you feel? Do you feel safe in Vegas? Do you feel, you know what I'm saying?
That's a very serious question.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's a touchy subject.
Right.
You know, and like for me to speak on that from an intelligent perspective,
Right.
I feel like, you know, when you leave outside of your home, you gotta be the person who you say you are.
Right.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that you can be naive out here, because it's things that happen out here. Anybody can catch it. You know what I'm saying? I do what I choose to do, but I'm also very aware of my surroundings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really it. You know what I mean? Anybody can get got out here. You know,
For sure.
PNB Rock, Pop Smoke, all of that. You know what I mean? And it's a very unfortunate climate that we're living in right now.
Right.
And I wish it would just stop. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're taking away a lot of talent in the game that people need. Pop Smoke was, he was destined to do big things.
He really was.
You feel me?
He's on his way.
And same with PNB Rock, you know what I mean? So, you know, to answer your question, you know, the short version of that is, you know, be who you say you are, but always be aware of your surroundings, man. Don't ever sleep on that at any time. You know what I mean?
Right.
No
Period.
doubt. No doubt.
When did you decide to pursue hip hop and leave the streets alone?
Okay, so
Like leave the streets alone.
that's a loaded question. You know what I'm saying? That's a loaded question, and the reason being because, you know, very early on in my childhood, I would say, I was, you know, introduced to the streets, and a lot of that wasn't working out for me. You know what I mean? I kept getting jammed up, catching this case, that case, that case. You know what I mean? But you know, fortunately, I was a good athlete. So I used to catch a lot of breaks with a lot of cases that I was catching coming up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, that worked out for me, you know, but I still, you know, I stayed in tune with the streets, all my peoples that I came up with and all of that. But, you know, I decided to take another path just because I knew what was waiting for me on the other side of that.
Right.
And it's only two ways that story ends unless you get lucky.
Right.
Yeah, and y'all know what that is.
Yes, we do.
I'm like,
Right?
Yeah, jail.
Dead or in prison.
I'm like, it's
Period. You know what I'm
two
saying?
dead end roads.
No doubt. No doubt.
So you being in the game for I don't know how many years, because I'm like, you have so many connections. What would be some advice you would give to some of the new artists that's trying to get into this hip hop and you know, like they want to start out, but they want to start out on the right foot?
You're gonna get me in trouble. Because I'm, you know what I mean? Because my answer to that question is something that a lot of cats on the corporate side, they don't want the young artists to know what I'm getting ready to tell you. You feel me?
Well, shit, I'm all ears right now.
Matter of fact,
I'm all ears.
Y'all got security. You know what I mean? I might need security out here waiting for you, man. All jokes aside, man, it's real simple. You know what I mean? The game is designed not to work out for the artist.
Right.
Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I came up in the era where, you know, it was listen to my demo. And if your demo was hot, you could catch a deal real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not the world that we live in right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what's going to get me in trouble, because the labels are really in trouble right now. Because, you know, with all the platforms that artists have available to them right now, you don't need the label.
Right.
You know, it's crazy that you speak on that.
Yeah.
There's a platform out here. We talked about this artist LaRussell earlier today. He's out of Vallejo, and he's like got his own little movement going. But he used this platform called even.biz. right? And what it did was he was able to put it out there to say, you know, you buy the album for whatever you want to buy it for.
Facts.
You know, whatever it is. So people, I think he sold like, I don't know, like 10,000 albums in like 24 hours.
Okay.
Or whatever the case may be. So he made like a substantial amount of money. He's like donations up to like $1,000 for the album. Right. But it's all his money. So what they do that, I guess, you know, even they take a cut, but then the rest, it's all his.
Right.
And he was able to sell it just off of his viewership, likes, by, you know, it was, and it's designed for independent artists. I'm like, is that like something that you would suggest to the young artists as far as going that route to be able to, you know, capitalize on their movement without being trapped in the whole label deal?
What I would recommend the young artists to do is keep money in your pocket. Whatever your hustle is, you know what I'm saying? And what, you know, no judgment from nobody. Whatever your hustle is, the legal hustle, the corporate, the 9 to 5, the whatever else.
Right.
Keep money in your pocket and keep the leverage on your side.
Right.
You understand? Because they'll expose you if you allow them to. They see, this is kind of a controversial term that I'm going to put out there, right? And people might get mad at me for saying this, but I don't give a fuck. Can I curse?
Yeah, you good. You good.
I don't give a fuck. There's a term what I call it. I call it the monkey dance, right? And when I say that, I mean, they want you to trick you and make you believe that you have to get on the table and perform for them and do the monkey dance and do this, that, and the third so that you can get on. But you're not really getting on. It's trick. That's the trick. You understand? You don't need to do that to get on. What you need to do is be self-contained, generate your own revenue, and call your own shots and do it your way. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really what it is. And no disrespect to all the people that came up and signed deals through the labels and all of that, this, that, and the third. No disrespect to them. But all I'm telling you is it's a trick. It's a trick. And there's not a deal right now that's getting signed from a unknown. I'm not talking about an artist that made it and you have a track record. Right. But an unsigned artist, if you think the label is on your side and you're gonna get a deal that's beneficial to you, you're crazy. You understand?
So they out here really just taking advantage of some of the artists or the new artists or whatever the case may be, because
that's a fact.
And right now, you know, the climate is so crazy because of the internet, and they're not able to sell records, like you said, you know, out of brick and mortar stores no more. Right. So it's like all streams or whatever the case may be. Right. So it's like they have to find a way that they continue to make money.
To stay they got to find a way to stay relevant.
Right.
And that's through merchandising and all of that. You know what I mean? So you know, like you take, you know, I was watching what you guys were putting up on the screen earlier. You know what I mean? And shout out to Raekwon. I got a joint with him coming out on my next album.
Nice.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the new generation of music that's coming out here, that the only thing the artist needs to understand is you have all the leverage because of the content that you're putting out there. You know what I'm saying? And you have to believe in that, and you have to be willing to put it all on the line. Don't wait for the next man to help you, and you know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, now you're indebted to that person.
Right.
So whatever you bring to the table and the revenue that you generate, you gotta pay somebody back. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's easier said than done. Don't let me fool people into thinking that, like, yeah, just go out and start your own label and do this and that. It's not that easy. But what I'm saying is keep money in your pocket, self-invest into your own craft. And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a grind like any other grind. It's not an ATM.
Right.
You know, like you're going to have to put the work in to get something out of it. I want to ask you something. What do you feel goes into being a top tier MC?
I mean, which era? Which era are we talking about?
Okay, I was just talking about overall in general. Yeah. What do you feel like goes into it?
First of all, you have to have respect for the culture.
Man, I.
You know what
I'm so
saying?
glad you said that
Great
first.
answer, G.
You have to have respect for the culture, you know what I'm saying? And then decide what you bring to the table. One thing that really annoys me is when excuse me. You know, a lot of these younger artists of this era, right? And then you have cats that are from a different era, like maybe my era. I don't like when they down talk the newer artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they found a way to make the sound that they're creating relevant.
Right.
And they're getting a bag doing that. So I take my hat off to them cats.
Right.
And who am I or anyone else for that matter to say that ain't hip hop?
Right.
You understand?
Exactly. Because and it's funny you say that because in the beginning of hip hop, we all was figuring out what hip hop was.
Right.
I'm like, it was so many things going into it. That's how we came up with the elements because it was the b-boying and the MCing and the DJing and the breaking and all the graffiti artists. I'm like, all of that stuff is hip hop. I'm like, so now you got these younger artists who discovered how, like you said, make a way for them to get relevant and get paid.
Right.
And I'm like, that's all that the earlier artists were doing. I'm like the Grandmaster Casses, they was trying to figure out how to get paid, doing what they loved, and these kids figured it out. So we can't
But
be
it's
mad
just
at
what
that.
you said. You know, you have to figure out what you bring to the table.
No doubt.
Slim and I just had that conversation that cats try to say this is hip hop. That's not hip hop. What these younger cats are doing, that's not hip hop. What we're doing is hip hop. Our hip hop is the form of hip hop that we're choosing to claim, but what they're doing is not hip hop. And we're like, please, you know what I'm saying? Please with that. Stop with that.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, hip hop is taking its own life. It's like, you know, it's constantly growing. If it just stayed one thing, then hip hop would die.
Facts.
I'm like, the fact that it's evolved over the years and become something else and was able to infiltrate all the businesses in the world. It don't matter what it is, hip hop is in it. So it's like it's growing.
Do you have a favorite a favorite year in hip hop? Like where like that year for you was just like, you know, like golden, or is it a couple of years or what?
Man, yeah.
I already know where you're going.
So
no, you don't.
So you know, I got a 16-year-old son who's a producer right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very nice.
I have a 28-year-old son who's an artist, right? Wow. So to answer your question, you know, like, you know, they say the golden era of hip hop was in the late 90s, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or late
Early
80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love everything that was coming out then. Royal Flush, Mobb Deep, Nas, like all of that. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, that's why, you know, when I put out projects, I come circle around to them cats because that's who I fuck with.
That's who you fuck
understand?
with, right?
You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that the new generation, like the Kendrick Lamars and the Drakes of the world and everybody, like they took it to a whole nother level that the cats in my era could never take it to that. To me, one of the illest MCs of all time is KRS-One.
Right.
Knowledge reigns supreme.
You know what I'm saying? But he's not caking like Drake.
Absolutely.
No disrespect, KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Bottom line is the culture is what it is. You know, it goes up, it goes down. But I don't think anybody deserves to just say, I take ownership of the blueprint of that.
Yeah, no.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh goodness.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, wait, that's a touchy subject, right?
Right.
Be careful.
No. I don't respect, you know, how he chose to do what he did. But let me tell you something, man. When he goes on stage out in Russia or London, there's 100,000 people out there.
And that money spent just like this money. That's for real.
I would have never went that route. But
right.
How you gonna go up to that man and tell him, nah, fam, you in the wrong lane?
Right.
You feel me?
And, you know what's funny about that? I'm like, we had a talk a few weeks ago about what's old girl who was making the $20 million a month off of OnlyFans.
Black China.
Which is still some bullshit.
Right, but you know what I mean? And it may be bullshit, but I was like, you know, if your kid was making that money, how could you go up to your kid and you ain't never made $20 million a month and tell him stop doing it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you ain't got no alternative routes for him. So you can't go up to Tekashi and be like, yo, what you did is whack. Because you be like, look, he making, like you said, 100,000 people in Russia is paying his bills. So it is what it is. So what I'm gonna say to him, I'm like, I don't, like you said, I don't agree with it, but shit, I can't tell him no other routes of making money.
Let me ask you just one more question. Do you prefer the studio or the stage?
Yeah, I like her, man. I like her.
Supreme Kai Senpai.
See, that's also a loaded question. You know what I mean? Because, you know, growing up, you know, I went to college. I did public speaking courses and all that, and I used to get all nervous and shit like that. You know what I mean? Something about me being on stage, I could be, and you know, shout out to Kiss. We opened up for Kiss one time at Trenton State Arena. There was 10,000 people in the audience. You feel me? I do that like with my eyes closed. It's nothing. You know what I mean? The studio, even that became easy because I don't write nothing down.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all, you know,
I didn't
if
know
y'all
that.
knew that.
No, I had no idea.
So what I do when I go into the studio, like I pick a beat, I'm like, all right, cool. I fucks with that, right? I go into the studio, the engineer puts the beat on, and it depends on what day it is, you know what I mean? So he might play the beat, and I'm like, all right, cool. Yo, all right, load me up. So I go in the booth, I might spit 4 bars. As soon as I spit them 4 bars, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm coming out. Loop me up right there. And then he plays the 4 bars, and I listen to what it is, and then boom, and I come up with 2 more. Or I might come up with 8 more. It does, you know, whatever it is.
Wow.
And then we just go and go and go until my 16-bar verse is done. I don't write raps.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't write at all. Like even tonight, like you know, y'all got me in here. Like I know because I know I'm gonna have to spit for y'all.
Right.
In a few short minutes.
Yeah. And look, so in the last 3 months, I probably freestyled 100 songs. Jeez. I don't remember them shit. I don't remember them. But you know,
only if it's recorded.
Yeah, and then so you record it, and then you ride around to it, and then you learn the music
by
you know
memorizing your words.
And you know, it's interesting because the reason why I started doing that is because early on in my career, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago, when I wrote and then I rapped and recorded, to me, you know, it could have been insecurity, but to me, it felt like I was, like you could tell that I was reading it off of something, and I wasn't really in the pocket of the beat,
right,
the way that I wanted to be,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word.
I was going to ask you what led you to that process because you know there's a lot of artists that record like that, and they all got to that same revelation different ways. It's like different paths. Like, you know, you hear Jay-Z's story where he was like, I had to memorize my rhymes because I was selling dope on the corner or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know, and he didn't have time to write them down. And then, you know, I guess, you know, the story with Biggie or whatever and all that stuff. He laid his pad down one day and never picked it back up. You know, all these magnificent stories about people going in the studio and not writing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I commend you for going into just exactly what got you to there. Because that's crazy. I'm like, you know, everybody's story is different to get to.
Yo, it's nuts. I would love for y'all to take the cameras and just go into the studio and watch me record a song.
You'll
be like, yo, what am I looking at right now?
Say less. Say less. I'm like, yo.
Right. Hey, so
we'll figure out a way.
Your video, Bloodstains on a Palm Tree.
Yeah.
Beautiful song.
You did Great God in. And then you got dead in at the end. Also, you got killed at the end of the video.
Right.
There's a story behind that. You said you almost died in real life.
Yeah. So you know, shout out to Great God, man. His mind is so, you know, he's way ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? But when we shot that video, you know, it was like guerrilla style marketing. We weren't pulling permits and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So we found a location, and the last scene that you guys see in the video where I got Great God laid down and my man Splash God, and we got the we got the AK-47 pistol grip joint, the Draco is what everybody else is calling it, right? And so we're shooting that scene, but you gotta understand there's a highway overpass where we were shooting the scene. So next thing you know.
Oh, just center on the camera.
Okay.
You see how you kind of like a little bit to the.
Okay. So next thing you, excuse me. So next thing you know, every police department from every jurisdiction of Las Vegas, they swooped in on us, right? And they were they weren't even trying to be discreet. So first they were at the top because we were over here shooting. They were at the top, right? And next thing you know, we see everybody there. And Taj was like, yo, Lens God. That was the one cat that was taking all the flicks, whatever.
Right.
Yo, Lens God, keep an eye on this. What's going on, right? Next thing you know, I had my 15-year-old son on set with us.
Right.
And this was it right in the middle of all this Black Lives Matter and cats getting, shot up for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So man, when I say they swooped in, they're like shoom, 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 shoom. It was like 50 police cars, and half of them were from every jurisdiction. Yep. And when they pulled out, when they ran down on us, they were like, they had grenade launchers on us, my G. And they were like, shouting out all these commands and one by one. So first they went with Great God, and Great God had the camera up in the air, right? So he was like, they were like, put the camera down. And Great God was like, it's a $70,000 camera. I can't set it down on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? So boom. So that was that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, and I'm pretty sure you seen the video because I heard you bumping it on the way in here. Right. So now, and they're trying to be funny style. They got the missile launchers on us and everything, right? Right. So now they're walking all of us out one by one, and they keep telling us, if you don't want to get shot, comply with our orders, right?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, man. So then my man Thanos Beats, shout out Thanos Beats, you know what I mean? We had him in the Versace, and we had him in the
sombrero.
In the sombrero, right?
Right.
So they run through everybody, telling everybody to come out. And when it came to him, for him to walk out, they were like, hey, sombrero, you're next.
Sombrero.
It was crazy, man. But everything worked out. You know what I mean? Nobody got shot.
Nice.
By the end of it, they were actually taking pictures with us. They heard that it was a EP that had Benny the Butcher on there, and everything worked out.
Right.
It was intense.
So was it like a permit thing or whatever when they asked you for it? Because like when you're shooting in places, they ask you got a proper permit to shoot and all this other crazy stuff, or did they just bypass that because y'all?
It wasn't so much about the permit. What it was is that
the guns,
the bypass of people driving over and seeing cats laid down on their knees,
right,
with AK-47s.
They just start calling the police,
right.
They just start calling the police. Man,
it was
happened to me before.
It was crazy.
I'm like, man,
it was crazy.
So like you said, like you brought up before earlier, you know what I mean? We always, for our MCs to come up here and display their talents, you know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
I got this saying, if you a rapper, you rap. You feel me? So right now, you know what I mean? Fifth Element fam, y'all got to get ready for Joey Majors, man. Fifth Element fam, he about to do his thing.
All right.
Yo, what you got back there for us?
Yeah, let me hear something, man. Freestyle shit. Let's go.
Let's go up the dome.
Listen, I put the H in hustle. Louis bag, cake in the duffel. Moving and shaking, making it double. Make a couple moves here, make a couple moves there. Collect my bread, then my plane's back up in the air. Say a quick prayer, Lord, just get me back safe. Then my money's back in the safe. Right back in this place, right back in the range. Right back in my change. Pushing down Vegas bully with my hands on the toolie, Joey.
Woo! Okay.
There you go.
Hey, he took the handcuffs off and said, yo, I'm about to blaze. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me see something else. Let me see.
Yo, he said, yo.
The boy's nice off the dome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got something? What you got?
I
Something
might got
else?
something else. Throw me another beat. Throw me another beat.
You got
Throw me
one
another
more?
beat. Throw
You
me
got one
another
more
beat.
slim before we get out of here?
Yeah, throw me another beat, man.
Give me one more. You know what I mean? What you got? Some shook ones, some survival of the fittest.
Give me some. Give me some like a 86 tempo.
Oh, okay. 86
You know what I mean?
tempo.
Slow down.
Some of that Young Kane.
I want to hear you come off the dome again.
Yeah, I mean that's all I
That's
do.
how. That's
really.
what
I
you
don't
do.
know, you know what I mean?
Like that's not. Like the writing thing.
I'll give y'all some more news.
That
Styles
technique is
P
dope.
announces his retirement as a solo rapper. He will deliver his last 2
Oh what?
solo albums. Yep.
That makes sense. But he said, you notice how he worded that? His last solo album.
Well, because if the Locks get back together,
Exactly. So he ain't opposed to doing more music. He just ain't doing nothing by himself.
Love this beat right here. Yeah. Hey yo, everything we touch is gorgeous. They nauseous when they see the carrot weight on the stones fitting we bosses. Your girl loving the bling bling, loving how them little yellow canary things float in the bezel. If your man wanna get poked with the metal, I suggest he keep scheming. He making my team nervous. He don't wanna get murdered, that just defeat the purpose. That only lead to early funeral services. Grandmother's crying cause her grandchild's in the furnace. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, I know you heard of it. Yeah, your boy is back. I'm from Western New York, that's fact. I tried to put upstate on the map, bring a platinum plaque back home, way before they even knew I was gone. Before they even knew how to form words in a sentence with pronouns, adjectives, and verbs. I was on the curb pitching the product. Spit game was so sick. Homie, I ain't visit no doctor. I visit the booth, I'm spitting the truth, the epitome of what you fitting to do. Am I getting through? Come on, man.
Shit. Hey, okay.
Come on.
See?
Hey, hold on,
See, I
man.
told you.
Oh, okay.
I told you.
Hey, till you put the phone down, he said, fuck it. I'm about to
I told you.
Hey, he just went up.
What I just
I
said.
ain't mad at you,
What did I
man.
literally just say?
Put the phone down. I'm like, yeah. Hey, that's what I love that. Y'all see that right there, man? That's MCing right there. He said,
Appreciate
just throw
you.
the beat on, man, and let me eat.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man.
Yo, Joey Majors, you certified on the bar test, baby.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
There
My
it
God.
is.
My God.
Appreciate
Word
that.
up.
Salute, G.
And I'll come through anytime, man. Just
Oh,
say
man.
the word, I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. We
Appreciate
Word.
that love. And that's what we do too. We pull up for your things too. If you got a performance
doubt.
going on, we gonna pop out for you.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Yo, Ramo, man, what's up with the allies?
Man, big shout out to Miko, Two-Tone, and Mad Records Recording Studio. Pull up on them if you need your project mixed and mastered. They're doing it all over there. They even have rehearsal space. They located 15 minutes from the Strip at 1020 East Charleston Boulevard. Reach out to Tone Does Music on IG or
sir.
Mad Records _LV on IG. They'll take care of you. And big shout out to our barbers or my barber, Q. If you need a cut, you trying to get fly for the weekend, go see Q at the barbecue shop. They say they're taking all fades over there at 2077 North Jones behind the Burger King.
Taking on phase.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, Joey Majors, tell the people they can reach you at, baby.
You can reach me at Joey Majors VIP Life, Instagram. I mean, I really don't do the social media thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I apologize about that. I'm just old school with it. You know what I mean? But that's where you can reach me. Like I said, Wolf Season is out on every DSP right now. We got another joint coming out. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing.
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing.
That's coming out this week. I just did a joint with 38 Special. That video's dropping this week. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So you know,
It's going up.
Right.
I'm like, yo, man.
I'm just working, man. You know
I
what I mean?
see you, you know what I'm
you know what it is? More than anything, I'm having fun, man.
Right, and
That's
I can
beautiful.
tell though. You
I'm
know what I
having
mean?
fun.
Beautiful thing.
I'm
I
having
can tell,
fun.
man.
That's the best part.
I'm like, you got up here and you spit your bars. They came effortlessly. When you was like, yo, when I put the phone on, he's like, you know what? I'm just about to have some fun.
No doubt,
And
no
start
doubt.
killing shit. So
No
you know what I
doubt.
mean? I can tell, man. You having fun, and that's what hip hop is supposed to be,
You
man.
love what
Peace,
you do.
love, unity, and having fun,
No doubt.
man.
I
That's
appreciate
hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
Straight
it.
up.
Knowledge with understanding.
With that being said, man, we gonna have Hollywood Bud go ahead and take
Let's
us
go,
out.
Bud.
You know what I mean? For his birthday, go and take us out, Bud.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yo, we out. Fifth Element.
Wolf, we only.
Getting it, out the settlement. Hold the line to get connected to a hip hop specialist. Be a registrant. It only takes a second. It's to your benefit, like a settlement. I'm talking element. Supreme tide of perfectionist. Crash on your Vegas nerve. Buffet, I'm about to serve. Fresh out of canapes, I'm on the hors d'oeuvres with a hunger indescribable to put in that scheme. The host with the most. OT from the D. Creator of this newly rooted family tree. DJ 7, young got discretion. Cool, go hard in the paint like resin. Ray Sun checking with the scoop for your teacup. How do we know that? I swear he knows some higher ups.